Hey everybody, I thought I would film a video today about teaching prehistory, secular prehistory resources, but I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet, so this is kind of going to be a video of me showing you what I have and just kind of showing you inside, giving you my thoughts on my kind of early look through it, and yeah, just kind of have a conversation, a brain dump, if you will, of what I'm considering. So my son is going to be doing Curiosity Chronicles snapshots of ancient history next year in 4th grade. And I thought this really kind of starts more with like hunter-gatherer, and just briefly there, and then goes into ancient Egypt and so on. So I thought, you know, it would probably be a good idea to start with a little prehistory before we go into that. And so when I went to the internet and searched secular prehistory curriculum, these are the two things that came up. In fact, I think I saw this one before I saw this one. So this is Build Your Library, and this is Blossom and Root. So I picked up this one, and it's okay. I don't love it, but I thought, oh, I could make it work. Both of these, I should say, I don't really see where either one of the authors of these is maybe any more qualified to write a prehistory curriculum than I am, which is, I'm sure, why these are written as more, to me, these are more like lesson plans. So that's something to keep in mind. But, okay, so Build Your Library, they give you here the list of required books. The very first one is the Usborne Encyclopedia of World History, and I'm not like a huge fan of it. We had it, we've used it in the past, but I think I've gotten rid of it because I don't know, over the years I've just fell out of love with it. Let's just say that. So I don't even think I have it anymore. So that's kind of my first turnoff on this one. A couple of the other, so these are the spines right here, the required books. I do like that this one includes a novel, the Maru of the Winter Caves. So I do like that. This Discovery in the Cave is like a beginning reading, a step into reading book, and we've had that before. When We Became Humans, for some reason the library didn't have, but that's pretty popular, so I'm not sure. Sometimes the app for our library is like glitchy, so I should probably go online and look it up. But anyway, they didn't have that one. The When Whales Walked, that one I got from the library. Fossils for Kids I got, and Life Story I got from the library. So I can show you those. They also have a big list of optional books, and some helpful links. Let's see, interactive timeline, interactive lessons about the history of life on Earth, some documentaries. This is intended for ages 5 to 9 or grades 1 to 4. And it's scheduled to be completed in 6 weeks. So let's just look at a few of the books that are there. Spines. These are, of course, in addition to the Usborne World History one. This is When the Whales Walked. And it's pretty, but it doesn't necessarily make my socks go up and down, you know what I mean? But it's fine. And then there's this one, Fossils for Kids, a junior scientist's guide to dinosaur bones, ancient animals, and prehistoric life on Earth. One thing I'm also kind of falling out of love with is reading like 2 pages from one book and 3 pages from another book and 1 page from another book. I'm kind of over it. That's why we've kind of toned down Torchlight a bit. So both of these kind of work that way, so neither of that is helping, or that feeling I have is not really helping either one of these speak to me. So anyway, this one looks fine. Looks like it has some good information. And then the last one that I have from their required books is Life Story by Virginia Lee Burton. And I guess this one's all right. I don't know if this one really does much for me either, but all right, so those are the books for that one. And then let me show you kind of what a week looks like here. So this curriculum does include copywork and dictation, but I don't believe it starts until like week 5, I want to say, when the novel starts. So anyway, this is what week 1 looks like. It's 5 days a week. So the first week you're reading from 5 different books. There's vocabulary here, there's an activity for each day, and then there's a couple of videos. And then when you turn the page, it goes into more detail for each day in that week. I'm also just not sure how deep I want to dive into this. That's my other problem. I'm intrigued by this, this field guide. And they do have a timeline you can make along with it. I did not print out the timeline pages, but I'll show you the other student pages that I printed out. So that's kind of what that looks like if you want to pause and look any closer at this. But then we get into week 2. Week 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4 books you're reading from. It's got vocabulary and activity for each page or each day, and then 3 little videos, and then again more detail on each day. Week 3, same setup. And then I believe it's when you get to week 5 that you start reading the novel. And then they include, let's see, there's some notes and vocabulary from the novel, and then there's a copywork passage that they include until you finish. So that's what that looks like. Let me show you the student pages there. This does go for 16 weeks, so I'm gonna skip ahead here. And I did not print out the timeline pages. This is the only page that I think maybe I could use. I like the idea of it. This is the field guide to the prehistoric world. There's a spot for you to draw a picture. And then list its natural habitat, food, characteristics, when did it live, is it extinct now? So this could be fun. And then there's some map things, types of fossils, fault lines and plates, coloring page, some of these Venn diagrams, human family tree, migration. So that's what Build Your Library looks like. I could use the novel from here maybe, and I liked that one page in the student pages. So I don't know. Have you used this? If you've used it, did you like it? If you haven't used it, what are your thoughts from the flip through and the books that I shared? Now let's look at Blossom and Root. So Blossom and Root is more expensive, and it appears to have more to it. It's definitely got a girthier student notebook. It was more expensive, but when I bought it, it was on sale, so it was almost the same price as the Build Your Library one. So let's take a look at the parent guide first. They just give some information about their schedule. I'm pretty sure that this was an add-on to their 3rd grade curriculum, like their 3rd grade science or history maybe. I think this was an add-on to that. So anyway, it explains how the curriculum is designed with 4 steps: the wonder, explore, record, or 3 steps, I guess, and permission to go off the grid. I have not used a Blossom and Root unit before. I own one, it's math and art, but I haven't used it cover to cover. Let's see, and then it goes through each wonder and kind of what the goal is of that step. And I do like the record. I like how they include some like narration into this, because I think that that's important and can really help with retention of knowledge. So I do like that. I do like also that they included in here about kind of the challenge of writing a prehistory curriculum and how there's constantly discoveries being made that can change how we understand the past. And so they've kind of committed to updating this curriculum periodically to account for that. And then here are the units in here. There's 13 of them. And then I believe this page is the required books. And so this one here is D.K. Smithsonian, the dinosaur book. I do like the look of this one. But I mean, I'm pretty sure I've never met a DK book I didn't like. So we've got a good kind of timeline here of all the different periods, types of fossils, kind of a map of where fossils have been found, origin of life, evolution and extinction, and then we get into before the dinosaurs, and then age of dinosaurs. Dinosaurs take flight. Marine world. And the rise of mammals. So I do like this book, so that's a bonus. The story of life, evolution. I don't remember why I didn't get this one. Either my library didn't have it. Wait a minute. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know why I didn't get that one. So the other one, they said you could use this one or Life, the First 4 Billion Years. So I did find this one at the library. And this is a big, big book, which I hate when books are so big that they don't fit on my bookshelf, but I guess since this is just one I'm borrowing from the library, it's okay. But this is what this one looks like. It's got really beautiful illustrations. Sorry, my kids are playing outside, and when they do that, they literally come in and out like 27 times. So I don't know. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. So that's a possibility. And then the other ones I did not get. They have D.K. Smithsonian Dinosaur, Dinosaurium, and D.K. Smithsonian Where on Earth. We actually own this one. Wait, do we? Dinosaurs and Other Prehistoric Life. Okay, maybe we don't. We own one called Where on Earth, but maybe it's different than this. So I don't know. So those are the required books. And then there's, you know, extra books that they list here. And then you get into the very first unit, which is Precambrian life. And what I do like about Blossom and Root is that they give you kind of the big picture messages of the unit. I really like this, and I could probably use this. And then it breaks it down like different paths to follow. If you're like the minimalist, this is kind of what you're gonna do. If you're kind of a book basket family, you might follow this. If you're more visual, you might follow this. And then for outdoor learners and for the table lab crowd. So there's different ways that you can approach each lesson, and so that's kind of interesting. And I feel like in general, this one has maybe more helpful information in the parent guide, so I do like that. So yeah, there's definitely more I like about this one than the Build Your Library one. But do I love it? I don't know. I don't know. Let's look at the student guide. So the student guide, or the student notebook, I guess it's called, which I have now bent. It definitely has more pages in it. So let's take a look at that. I like this kind of thing, so I could probably use these where you're kind of drawing a picture and taking some notes or writing some information from the lesson or the reading. And they pretty much all look like this. Do you need this to do it? Could you just do it in an empty notebook? You could probably just do it in an empty notebook. But that's pretty much what that looks like. This one's interesting. Theropod dinosaur, you can draw a picture. write the name, what it eats, and a cool fact. So yeah, I do like the student pages. Let's flip ahead and see what else we've got. Types of fossils. So they do definitely cover similar information. That's cute. But this one seems to have a bit more to it, maybe, than Build Your Library. Have you used Blossom and Root? If so, oh, well, not just Blossom and Root. If you've used this unit of Blossom and Root, let me know what you liked or didn't like. Or if you haven't used it, what you liked or didn't like from the flip through. I'm not sure. So I also went and pulled some things from my own shelf and found a couple things at the library that I thought, well, maybe I could use those to make this work. These two books we used in our, when we did our science novel study on the evolution of Calpurnia tape. We used bits of these. This natural history one I like, but it's probably less helpful, but it does have some good information, but not a ton. So that's one thing, since we have it already. And then this Amazing Evolution, The Journey of Life, also had some good stuff in it. Again, not a lot of information, but definitely, let me get to it. Yeah, like I like this spread right here. I think that's nice. So we could use these, but it's not really enough. I don't know. And then also this is one I got used off of eBay that I want to read to my kids regardless of what we do with this prehistory unit. It's called Unstoppable Us, How Humans Took Over the World. And maybe if we're lucky, that'll be the last time you hear my front door open and close. So anyway, this one, I don't know how this has escaped me removing the cover because I hate book jackets. They drive me crazy. But anyway, oh, except I think that the summary is on the book jacket. So this says, from the savannas of Africa to the ice caps of Greenland, humans rule planet Earth. But thousands of years ago, we were just another species gathering berries and fleeing from lions. How did we go from being ordinary to landing on the moon and inventing smartphones? How did we become so unstoppable? Let's see. Epic journey through our past, revealing that humans have a superpower and that we've used it to create strange and mysterious things that have paved our way to dominance. It's a story of humanity as you've never heard it before. I think this sounds really interesting, and we're going to read this regardless. I think this doesn't go back quite far enough for what I'm looking for, but I think we'll still use it in some way. This book I picked up at the library. I just think it's really cool, and if I was going to implement it anywhere, this would probably be a good place. It's from Nomad Press, called Girls in Science, Archaeology, Cool Women Who Dig. And they have a whole series of different occupations. And that's what the table of contents looks like. So, study of long ago, the history of women in archaeology, and then we go into some specific women. And then there's a timeline in the back. So I think that's kind of neat. I don't know how I would use this, but I like it. Chapter 1 is very long. Let me go to chapter 2. Well, let's see what's towards the end. There's the timeline. So that's got possibilities. And then this series I found at the library. I'm still waiting for the other one. There's 3 total. The series is called Earth Before Us. This one is Mammal Takeover, which is the Cenozoic area. This is Ocean Renegades. It is the Paleozoic area. And then I think the one I'm waiting for is the Dinosaurs, which is the Mesozoic area. But these are graphic novels, and I think they're pretty neat. So these definitely have possibilities to maybe do along with this prehistory unit. I think my kids would really like these, and they have a lot of really good information in them. I have kind of skimmed them a little bit. So that's an option as well. So what am I gonna do? What am I gonna choose? I don't really know. If I had to pick one thing right now, I would probably do Blossom and Root, but I'm just not sure I want to commit to that. Oh, I was wrong. Okay, last time. So, anyway, I don't know. Tell me what you think. Tell me what looks good to you from these books. Tell me what you've used. If you've done prehistory, what have you used? Is it something that I've shown today or something different? I would love to hear about it in the comments down below. Thanks for watching.